Name, tag, and age.
My name is Jose Christian Luna. A lot of people actually don't know that my first name is Jose. And then my tag is Commander, and what was the third question?
Yeah, I mean, so you recently got sponsored by Comics Unlimited, and for a lot of people who really don't understand like the sponsorship like scenario, or like they're really curious as to like how that goes, like what does it entail, or like how did you go about it to like ask for the sponsorship or anything?
Well, back in the day, sponsorships used to mean that, oh man, this guy's the top dog, this guy's the big player in this region. Nowadays, sponsorships are just, like, I wouldn't say handed out, but they're not as respectable as they used to be. But as far as sponsorships go, I remember like about 2 years ago, when I was barely on the come up, I used to want a sponsorship. I would go like around talking to everybody. And I finally got to the top four, and I'm like, okay, I have a bigger chance of getting sponsored, but it still didn't happen until I met this place in Harlingen. And I actually did not ask them for a sponsorship. They saw me winning all these tournaments, and they're like, you want to get sponsored? And I'm like, sure, why not? So, and that's how I ended up getting sponsored by Comics Unlimited. They just asked me.
Okay, that's actually really weird, because like the whole scenario for like Blue Striker, like he did ask for it, so like that was interesting. So you ran Sin City, not everything went well. You apologized for like anything that went bad, if anything. So like, how was that experience? I know you were really stressed out. I know it was like frustrating, like certain things that you have no control over, like going bad.
Yeah, Sin City was. I intended to do everything I could for my region. I went around like Sin City was half the work, definitely. The other half was advertising, talking to all these top players in different regions. Like, I am a very socially, I'm not good at talking to people. So every time I have to go talk to a stranger, like a top player, I'm like, oh man, I gotta go talk to this guy and ask him, hey, can you come to this no-name region for me? And they'll be like, maybe. Like 5 people ended up saying maybe. Megafox said he wasn't gonna come. And then he ended up not coming because his carpool driver got sick. But that was definitely half of the work was getting everyone to come. The other half was just putting so much work and time. On Thursday I set up everything at Sin City by myself because I asked for help last second, so I guess it wasn't on everybody's schedule to just come help me out. So I had to set up everything on Thursday. Friday I wanted to do some test runs, but I just couldn't find the time for it. And Saturday was the big day. I ended up getting there late, and then all my other partners also got there late. So I had to take setups on the spot and waive about $180 in venues. And I'm already freaking out. I'm like, oh man, I'm definitely down money right now. And then the internet wasn't going on, and I was doing on the spot signups, which means that I had to I was planning on helping you make a Smash.gg account and signing up online to help get this bracket going. But there was no internet, so I was just sitting there dumbfounded for an hour. And the tournament was getting pushed back. I was getting stressed, what am I going to do? And luckily enough, Pixie or Rachel had a hotspot, and she put up the hotspot for me, and we were finally able to get ourselves started by getting people on Squad Strike. And I decided just forget Smash.gg, let's get challenge, let's get these tournaments running real quick right now. But as time went on, more and more problems kept rising. People were saying, hey, why is it so late? Tournaments, yada yada. It was all out of my power. I was so stressed I just couldn't join my own tournament. I'd practiced for a full week, I couldn't join my own tournament.
So damn dude, that was such a long story that I really don't know what to get from it. I know that there was so many players that you wanted to get into. How did you necessarily approach them other than saying hey, I'll pay you for a ride, do you want to come? And I know that they do rankings in region, and they put us 8th normally out of 10, I think. They always put us super low, even though we have Zell, we have Blue Striker, we have you, and everybody's nah man, they're low tier, you know? So what was your approach to dealing with that stereotype?
Well, back in the day, back when Smash 4 had barely started, everyone always looked down at RGB. We're literally the bottom of the barrel. Most of South Texas was bottom of the barrel. Everyone would be oh, you guys want free money? Just go to RGB, go to Laredo, go to Corpus, free money, easy money. Maybe Laredo was a little bit more ahead of us at the time, but RGB, all we had was Hypey. Hypey was the only person going out. His most notable thing back in Smash 4 was that I think he got top 8 at Texas Showdown, beating big names like Grim Turtle, and only losing to Karna. So that was our biggest thing at the time. But now that we're in Ultimate, we're not up there yet. We're not top 3 yet, but we're definitely getting up there with us and Laredo. Like Laredo is also climbing up there, but dealing with that stereotype, there's something I can really say because we don't travel. Like the only person that travels in the RGV, well, is me, and I try to take up as many people as I can upstate.
Oh man, what about J-Boss, man?
J-Boss.
What about Zell?
Zale doesn't travel as much as I do, and as much as I do, J-Boss and Zale don't travel as much as I do.
Wait, how often do you actually travel? Like, cause I mean, I see you playing these tournaments, but I don't actually know in the sense of like actual numbers.
When Ultimate first came out, I've been to about 17 out-of-city tournaments, and I think 3 of them were regionals. I went to TGC, I went to TGL, and I went to Go Games. But most of them were just out-of-city tournaments. Like a lot of people ask me, like if they want an RGB card pool, they always ask me, hey, can you come to my weekly? I'll pay you $20. I'm like real shit?
Yeah.
Like yeah, I'll go. And they just ask me like, yeah, I'm there. I just take off and I get there and then I drive back.
Yeah, because like these venues aren't really looking to necessarily make a profit from your card pool. Kind of like just bring you in, kind of like have you like just add more numbers to the actual tournament. So like right here, like we had like Dubsy, we had Joker. How did it feel playing? Like you didn't get to sadly play in the Sin City, but you got to play here in the Goliath. How did it feel to play against Laredo?
Playing against Joker, who I thought was the bigger threat between him and Dubsy. I had a close set with Joker back when the game first started. I kind of know how he plays. He's a pretty aggressive player despite playing Samus. He's trying to make it work, and I'll be damned, he makes it work like almost like all the time. But then playing against Dubsy was definitely really unorthodox character. Like he played Mii Sword Fighter. I hadn't played a good Mii Sword Fighter until I fought Hypey, but even Hypey had a completely different playstyle than Dubsy. Like Dubsy was just a lot more like kind of campy and really playing the character the way it's supposed to be played. You're playing as a kite, you wait for your projectiles and you convert off your projectiles. But playing against Joker, I always knew how he played. But I always feel like if I'm losing to somebody, it's because either I'm too slow or it's either I'm just too slow most of the time.
So like there was there any notable upsets in Sin City? I barely got to actually look at the bracket because of how much I had to do there.
Notable upsets for me were Lavin beating Ouija. Joby, the Inkling.
Yeah, JF Smash guy.
Yeah, JF Smash beating Blue Striker. And then Meowser beating Ouija also. But as far as RGV goes, everything seems pretty alright. I know Toffee ended up not drowning in pools. Hypey drowned in pools. Like, a lot of people don't know like how stacked regionals actually are. And Sin City was probably the first taste that most of these players got. Like, I'm like, man, I didn't do too good at Sin City. Well, that's just how hard regionals are. And like, these are some stacked tournaments. You can't always expect to make it out.
Yes, and like we have the Critical Hit Arcade hosting a tournament tomorrow. And like that's not the same aspect that like Sin City was. In Sin City, you yourself went out and to like try to bring top dog players into this regional, and this time around it's mostly like a regional for like RGV itself, kind of just like playing against each other and stuff like that. So like, what do you, other than like what you just said, like what are other big differences like when it comes to like regionals for like just local regional and like just a broader regional? I'm not really sure how you would distinct them in names.
Well, the difference between like a local regional, like what's happening tomorrow, and like a bigger regional is that there was definitely a lot more preparation for Sin City. And I only ever call tournaments regionals when there's multiple regions coming. Like that's the whole point of it being called a regional. So we look at probably the people are going to come tomorrow are probably like maybe a little bit of Corpus, maybe a little bit of Laredo, and definitely a lot more RGV. The difference between tomorrow and Sin City was that Sin City had Houston, Austin, Corpus Christi, Laredo. And if only I had talked to Central Texas, San Antonio, and even more of Houston, but they just couldn't make it out in time. Like San Antonio, we were guaranteed a San Antonio carpool, but the driver got sick and they weren't able to make it.
Okay, last question, out of everything that happened in Sin City, what was either the oddest or the most greatest thing that happened?
The greatest thing that happened at Sin City was the fact that I actually broke the RGB record, which was I think 107 players. Sin City got 120. So that by far was my biggest accomplishment, getting 120 players all in one place, getting all these out-of-city players to come play the RGB players so they can get that experience. Like, Sin City might have been a really big headache and a lot of stress for me, but I lost that battle, I want to say, but I definitely won the war.
Okay. Twitch or Twitter, anything that you want to shout yourself out in?
In terms
of that promo?
I won't give myself a shout out, but I will give my girlfriend a shout out. Her page is called Loli Senpai, and she's the artist that did a lot of the graphics for the Sin City advertisements. So if you ever want something cute drawn, I definitely suggest sending her a message or checking out her Twitch or Twitter, Instagram. Just search up Loli Senpai.
Okay, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching this interview, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We wish to provide you guys more content, so please like, subscribe, comment, and we'll be sure to keep providing more.